What's tea, y'all? I know some of you are out there right now having a hard time, having problems in your relationships, having trouble with life. Or maybe you're on social media swiping and swiping, thinking, why can't that be me? Why can't I do that? Well, I'm here to let you know that you can. This is Create Your Own Story with Terrell Garnett, where we not only help you create your own story, but we let you tell yours too. Let's get into it, y'all.
What's good, y'all? I am back with another podcast. As y'all know, you've been missing me. This is season 2, so we do things, a little bit different. And we have topics now with a guest. So without further ado, I'm going to let these lovely ladies introduce themselves.
Hi, guys. My name is Dyamond. I work for DMV, and I'm also a part-time nail tech. Hello.
Hi, my name is Marianne. I'm an operation manager for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym and also massage therapist at a chiropractic office.
Hi, I'm Di. I work for a very large corporation on the corporate team.
For sure. So let's just get into these questions. I did this podcast with the guys that you guys have probably already heard in regards to relationships, and I wanted to really get the women's perspectives from the podcast. So this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to ask you guys a few questions, and let's just get some dialogue in. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I had to fix my mic. So first question being in regards to relationships. What's one thing that you guys can't tolerate?
I can't tolerate a man that doesn't contribute anything.
And what do you mean by anything?
I mean contributing things as far as like either you're gonna like provide something like emotionally or finationally. Okay. You have to provide from one or the other.
So dick's not enough?
No. Absolutely not.
Okay, that was just a question.
Dick is basically free. So
Get that anyway. That's
not all dick is good dick.
Hear that?
Mary?
For me, it would be communication. Communication is huge. Like, how am I supposed to know what you're thinking if you're not going to communicate with me?
And do you think that communication and comprehension go hand in hand? I say this because a lot of times someone can communicate something to you, but if you really don't comprehend it or don't understand it, the communication doesn't mean anything.
That's true.
And you, Diana? Die?
So I would agree with both of you, absolutely. And I also disrespect. That just
Oh yeah.
out the window.
Huge.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't have simple respect and you're treating your friends better than you're treating the person at home, bye.
I feel that. That happens often, though. I believe I said in the other podcast, or I've said it in a podcast, that I'm sorry, I just ain't got no room. I'm like, let me just work this out. I ain't got no room.
Oh, you're good.
You still live?
Yeah.
Hey, people. No, I'm playing.
Everybody in there.
Hey. But see, this is raw and uncut, y'all. Oh yeah, and I forgot to tell y'all can cuss on the podcast if y'all didn't know.
Okay.
All right, cool. Pretty be me.
Yeah, be yourselves. That's what we want. Create your own story, Fudge. I say fudge. I'm trying not to cuss, but y'all can. I forgot. I lost train of thought of what I was going to say off of something that you said, disrespect. It literally it left me. Well, let's just go into the next question, though. What expectations do you have on yourself? A lot of times we expect things from other people, but we don't necessarily think about the expectations that we place on ourselves.
I think one thing that like I set for myself now, because I kind of like realized I'm a poor, like horrible communicator.
So Marianne would not like you.
Yeah, I'm horrible. Like in an argument, I will shut down. I won't talk about it. I'll just kind of like say fuck the situation and I'll deal with it later.
Do you feel that some of your relationships have ended due to that?
Yes, absolutely. When you hear it more than once, I think it's something that is like it's your problem, not their
theirs.
problem. Yeah.
So what have you done to fix that?
I try to like, sit down, analyze the situation and actually hear it. And because I have a problem with also like speaking over people too. When in an argument, like I always want to get my point across first.
Okay.
But I'm now like letting the other person like talk, me hearing them and then responding and then, trying to come up with a solution rather than just like, say, fuck it, okay, this happened and we're just going to move forward and not fix the situation. So now I want to like fix it, or at least come up with a solution where the outcome is going to be a lot better.
I feel that.
So.
Not all at once, ladies. Do you remember the question?
Ooh, can you repeat it one more time, please?
Yeah, excuse me. What expectations do you have on yourself?
To fix my attitude, I need to learn how to have more patience. Sometimes I overreact because I just don't have patience, and that's something I really need to work on. And
So do you think that a lot of that happens due to the person?
Yes.
Because I just think that with certain people, like if you're going through the same thing over and over, you start to lose patience with certain people.
Yes.
So therefore, what you would give to somebody else, patience, whether it be a friend or something like that, you've already lost everything that credibility that you had. So I'm just gonna snap on you.
Yeah. Like I feel like you should already know where I'm coming from. We've already been through this.
She's that meme.
Why do I have?
She's that meme that's like fix your attitude or leave.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm out.
Basically, I don't gotta tell you again. Like, you could just tell by my facial expression, like, I'm not dealing with this. Like, either you get with it or don't, because I'm gonna just move on without you.
And how has that been for you in past relationships or even just friendships? Give me the wine, girl.
Yeah.
It honestly has. It's caused a lot of arguments and a lot of miscommunication too. Because I'll be like, I don't got attitude, you got attitude.
And then you'd be like, I didn't have an attitude till you said I had an attitude.
Yeah, I was calm and patient until you started telling me I wasn't calm and patient. But then now I'm starting to like realize, it is like a little bit of me too. Like I need to admit when I'm wrong. Sometimes I don't like to admit when I'm wrong.
Why is that?
I feel like I'm always right.
You feel defeated.
Yeah.
Like you feel like they won.
And I don't like that.
Okay.
Showing weakness is not a good thing, I don't think.
It's not.
No. I had somebody on my podcast, and she actually, we're going to get to that later because I'm going to ask you guys the same question. And so you, Diana?
I think that in moving forward.
I'm sorry. I keep calling you Diana. Bad habit.
All good.
They die hard.
I think that in moving forward, an expectation I'd like to hold on myself is to not feel like everybody is bad. I think that I have it in the back of my head that they don't mean well. And so I have a really hard time trusting. And then because I have a hard time trusting, I'm not a nice person. I'm not the nicest person. I'm a nice person. I'm a good person, but I don't give as much as I could give. So I don't even give an opportunity.
That makes sense.
Your opportunity is shut down before you even know it.
That makes sense. This makes a lot of sense. So do you think that, why do you think, or well, let me rephrase that. You don't ask people why, because that makes them defensive. How come? How come do you feel that, what started the not trusting people? I mean, I feel like for somebody that, why are you looking at me like that? I feel like for people that that don't trust people, it's because they've been dealt wrong in either so many relationships or childhood or whatever the case may be by so many different people. So at a certain time, you don't trust all these people. Do you feel that? Do you tend to blame yourself at any point?
No, I think that at some point it was kind of like, am I doing something wrong?
So then you do blame yourself.
But at some point I did. I don't think that, I don't feel that way now. Because I know that I'm, for the most part, a pretty genuine person. What you see is what you get. You know, I don't really flip things. I don't change things. I'm a super nice person. I try my best at everything. But the thing is, I definitely don't give people many opportunities, or people an opportunity at all. So the people that come into my circle is a small amount of people. Even for a guy, if you and I are going to talk, we're even going to text, just know you're probably the only fucking guy I'm texting. Like, there are not a million people on the spectrum, because I don't have the energy for all of that. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. So I don't think that what I have experienced in my past and with my immediate family is my fault. I think that those men have not had an opportunity to be fully grown, or have had a woman to raise them not necessarily properly. So I'm not going to say properly, you know, like back then it was different. So, you know, my family generation, my immediate family, like I'm Mexican, so you have that generation of Mexicanos where you don't really talk about feelings and stuff. And so we have that comes into play also. So for people that I don't trust because they've been in and out of my life is, you know, maybe they just didn't even know that they could talk about their feelings, and they would rather just shut down than to talk about it. And so it left me with issues, kind of, I guess, you know, or just a little more standoffish, which I don't see it being a bad thing, because it also gives me an opportunity to pinpoint on who in future, you know, like I don't waste a lot of time with people now, which is good.
I feel that. So, do you girls ever lie to get what you want?
Yes.
Do we lie or have we lied? Two different questions.
Both.
Wait, but to get what though?
I plead the fifth.
Depend on the situation. Depending on what the situation.
It depends. Yeah. I didn't specify just anything. Like sometimes people think like, oh, to get some food, I'm gonna lie about this or whatever, to get whatever the case is. But sometimes it may just be just quality time. You could, you know, like it could really be anything. Or to get, sometimes we lie about something to get something out of somebody else. You know, like what I mean by that is like an answer, or you know.
I think everybody's had a little white lie.
Because the men on here all say yes. One of them said that he lied about his age.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Wish I could do that.
You could.
I've lied about my age.
Yeah, he was in the relationship with the girl for 3 years, and then she found out after they broke up.
How old was he? Like, how big was the age
It wasn't
difference?
even a big deal. It was like a year or two. She thought that he was older, and he wasn't.
Wow, all
No, I
them birthdays, those
couldn't
2 years
do
of
that.
birthday parties?
Yeah, he said that he had to separate them, so he never brought her
His
around
family
the
just
family.
thinking he pimping like that. Like, oh, he got an older girl.
Yeah.
I think everyone has done something small, but for the most part, I would say I feel like I'm not a liar, and
There's a difference between being a liar and lying.
Yeah.
Definitely, because I know people that just lie just to lie, and then I know people that, like, you know, every once in a while you might have to lie, and sometimes you don't even realize it. Like, you're late to something, and they're like, "Oh, why were you late?" And it would be a stupid reason, and you just say something completely different.
I've lied to get out of situations.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, I've lied and said, you know, I can't hang out tonight. I'm sick. Like, you know. So.
Oh, then yeah. Hello.
All of a sudden, I'm a liar. No, I'm kidding. It's funny, the guys are way more open about that question than the girls are. So guys, when you listen to this,
we're innocent and we're pure.
Yeah, when you listen to this, fellas, you know, you better check your girls, because, you know, that means that they lie a lot.
Hilarious.
So, do you feel that guys are intimidated by you? I believe you guys are all strong women. So, do you guys think that intimidation has affected your guys' relationship by maybe it being that you guys are bosses?
Absolutely. My last relationship, I feel like the person that I was with was envious of my success.
I told you not to date the dude in the first place. I was gonna be straight up.
He was envious for sure. Like, he hated the fact that I was so positive and shit was working out for me. And he saw that and his shit wasn't going so well. So he kind of like, you know, people that, you know how they say, like, if you talk positive or say good things around people that, you know, you're around or whatever, and they say nothing, that speaks volumes.
That was Danny.
That was that kind of situation. Like, I would talk about what I would, you know, I was so excited about what I'm doing, and he would just be like, oh yeah, that's cool, whatever. Like,
yeah,
you know,
not supportive at all.
Not supportive. And he would be like, I'm supportive, like I help you with this and that, but he would also do things like put obstacles in my way from getting to that spot.
Dang.
So weird. But how do you say you love somebody and you're doing that to them? You know what I mean? Like, is that really love?
Yeah.
So
my last relationship thought he was holding me back from my career. When he would say that, I'm like, what?
He's holding you back from your career.
That's what he said several times.
But how?
I don't know. I was like, okay. Maybe from being a fucking brat all the time, and maybe for the times that I had to come home from work or whatever because he was being a fucking brat over something. Yeah, probably that. Yeah, most definitely. Nobody needs that kind of shit. I'm too busy doing my career, bossing the fuck up, like getting to different levels, and then I still got to deal with your bullshit when I come home, or you know, you texting me on the side. No, thank you. Hello. So you kind of maybe. I don't know. I mean, when he would say it, I was a little confused, but.
You didn't you didn't want him to elaborate? You didn't care.
Yeah, at some point you just don't care.
My experience was everything was always a competition with him. He was like, why can't I have this moment? Why do you always have to do everything I do? And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm being supportive. I'm excited. We're kind of like on the same page. That's what I thought. And he's like, no, like, why can't I do it? Like, why do you always got to do everything I do? I'm like, what?
my ex would do shit like that too.
I was like, what?
Y'all dating the same guy?
When you're with somebody, no, when you're with somebody, you guys all like through in time, you guys will get in sync with things. Like you guys will almost start to dress alike.
Yeah.
You guys will almost like the same music, same food, same everything. You know what I mean? So like, of course, you know, if you find your passion in something that obviously something drew you to this guy, right? Like,
I don't know what.
So maybe you guys have things in common. Day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so when you guys have things in common, you're probably going to like some of the same things he does. So if it happens to be that.
No, that makes sense though.
You know, like it only
Were you
makes
better
sense.
at the stuff that you guys were doing than he was?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's probably why then.
Like I'm gonna like, yeah, because I would put more work into it and
happens. Well, I'm gonna go into a song and then we're gonna have some more dialogue. This song is by Luna L. It's called Flaws, and you can get this off my playlist right now called Terrell Garnett's Presents Brown.
My bad. I thought it was off the playlist.
No, that's my gospel playlist, but y'all can go get that right now. You can hear some Kurt Franklin Care shared on that one. Terrell Garnett's Presents WAP, but this one is called Brown Sugar and Honey. So let's get into this song, y'all. I can't.
But maybe you're the one who can love me, I deserve it. So please don't fuck this up. Maybe you're not worth it, and maybe I'm too much. We could work so well, but we could also fall apart. Don't we just give each other a chance? Let all our imperfections just vanish. Can't we look past our flaws? You can look past mine, and I can look past your flaws. I can look past all your flaws. Disney love. I need a real love, a legendary love. Hey, when no one has more say, we both think the same way.
Again, that was L. I already forgot the girl's name. Luna L. I'm sorry. Flaws. The girl's only 16, singing down like that. But the song is called Flaws. So the question I have for you ladies is, what would you say some of your guys' flaws are?
Physical or emotional?
One of each.
I have none.
Envy is a flaw. Or greed or whatever the case is, you know?
Who wants to go first? A flaw. Sometimes I can be too independent.
So you don't know when to ask for help? Or
I don't know when to ask for help. I don't like asking for help. If I do, I'm like literally probably like super desperate.
That's a flaw.
It is.
Yeah.
No, shoot. I'm the same.
It can be.
It can be because, like I said, like with my ex, my previous relationship, like I was more independent than him. You know, I was setting his doctor's appointments, doing shit that his mom should do. You know what I mean?
No, he's a grown-ass man. He should be doing that himself, not his mama.
I was independent. I do my own shit. I get my own shit done. When the pandemic hit and I got my hours cut at work, I filed for my own EDD, things like that, just to make sure I was straight and I was not going to go without a paycheck. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm independent in that aspect as far as getting shit done. I have to get shit done. For other people, it's not so important, or it's not so like what's the word I'm looking for? Like not significant, but like I can't find really the word that I'm looking for. But it's not just as important to them as it is to me.
Like a mandatory, not mandatory, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So being too independent.
Responsibility.
Yeah.
That's not the word either, though.
No, it's not. But yeah, just being like too independent, I guess.
And physical?
Physical flaws. That's like opinion. That's my like opinion, because other people will say like, "There's nothing wrong with you."
Yeah, but I'm asking you. I'm not asking other people.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks.
I mean, personally, I could tell you like a million things that I don't like about myself, or that I
one.
feel that is flawed. If I'm being 100% honest with you, it's probably like, you know, I was in a car accident, 2019. It was a really bad car accident. I had to have like abdominal surgery, like that goes like vertical, like along my belly. And then I also have some scars on my leg because I broke my leg. My ex was driving, and a different ex. We no longer speak because of this incident that happened. We were in a car accident. He was driving. He fell asleep at the wheel, and we crashed into a tree at like 50 or 60 miles an hour. The tree completely like crushed the car. So like it was really bad. But anyways, I would say like my flaw, I would say physically, is like my scar that bothers me. But I've seen like women like on Instagram, I found like a community like of people that have had traumatic things like that happen to them, you know? So, and it makes me feel like I'm still beautiful, you know what I mean? Like it takes a lot to like overcome something like that and be okay with it. So I still feel like I'm beautiful, I'm sexy. I feel like my body was perfect like right before that, and then this shit happened. And now I look at myself like, ugh, like.
I don't think that like a scar could define how perfect your body is.
Yeah.
Like a man loves a woman's body. They just love a woman's body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Period. All sorts of different types and sizes of bodies.
This is very true.
To say that like for females, we're always going to think we have a million flaws. Period. Physically, a million flaws. We'll always find something wrong before we walk out the fucking mirror. And then we'll want to go back and switch something. But that doesn't, I don't know, I just don't see how.
But you're not in her body.
Important question, you know, like.
But you're not in her body, so for her, that's what she.
That's
feels.
my flaw. That's what I feel like is a flaw.
But
like,
you may
physically.
look in the mirror and see like, oh, my nose is crooked, and nobody else might see. I'm not saying your nose is crooked, but you know what I'm saying. Like nobody else could notice that. It's not crooked. But I was just giving, you know, like you may look in the mirror and be like, my nose is a little crooked, and nobody else could ever see it. Or there's some people that have like the little bump in their nose.
So you want us to just kind of be naked on the camera right now?
That's the point of create your own story.
Yeah. Feel it. Okay.
Mentally naked, not physically.
Well, after that next bottle, I don't know.
And I said I wasn't going to drink wine. I'm on my second glass. But even Jesus drank wine, so hey. But emotional and physical flaw.
Emotional.
Just something, even in a relationship, what do you think that one of your flaws is?
I think that I care too much about the other person. I think that I'm a little overbearing sometimes in the way that I care, I guess.
Do you sacrifice things for yourself?
I sacrifice my entire fucking life and my career and like everything.
So then maybe that's what's his face was saying, the last relationship you had.
Yeah, probably.
Ding, a light bulb went off. And yourself?
Mine would be scared. Like, I'm scared to speak up. Speaking up for myself.
So have you been beat down? Like, not physically, but beat down, like, when you spoke up before? Because I believe that some people that don't like to speak up is because they have a history of someone, like, what's the word I want to use? Someone, like, berating them for speaking up or for defending themselves or whatever.
Definitely. Growing up, I had that trauma, too. Growing up in a Filipino family, you're supposed to always respect your elders and not talk back. Once you talk back and speak up for yourself, that's like a sign of like weakness, and you're being disrespectful, but you're not, because you're just trying to speak the truth. Yeah. And they don't want to be told what was like wrong about them. And then like, excuse me, a flaw about me would probably be, a physical flaw would be my stretch marks.
You had a baby.
I know. After having a baby, you know, it changed my body, and it just stretched me out.
I got a song. Wait, pause. Because you said this. I really, hold on. Shout out to Tamel. Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Can't wait till you pull up on me like a horn in your baby. On me, have your hands and arms on me like a seatbelt, baby. On me, I'll take it like a champ. I won't run away, but you ain't tryna hurt me in no type of way. And I've been waiting on this feeling all day. There's no way that I'ma let it go away. Now every time I'm stressed out, boy, I need you to stretch me out like I'm your last few dollars before payday. Boy, I need you to stretch me out in that way. Stretch me out like I'm doing yoga. Stretch me out, boy, till my body over. Stretch me out across the bed. Stretch me out, give me the head like I.
Yes. I'm sorry, I had to.
Give me the head.
I had to. Shout out to Tamel. Get her project dedicated out now. But that stretched me out. But anyways, you were saying, I know you meant like stretch, your
like
baby stretched you out, but it just reminded me of that song.
My stomach stretched me out. But yeah, over the years, I grew to love myself, you know, and I connected with more moms who were dealing with the same thing, you know? Yeah. It made me realize, you know, it's okay to feel insecure about your body after having a kid. Your body changes. Everything changes. Your mindset changes. Your whole life changes.
And you didn't say a physical flaw.
I think that, like, forever.
You said one earlier.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't know my body.
No, you said your widow's peak.
Oh. If anything, it's my brows.
Yeah.
I don't know. forever my brows. Shout out to the girl who
does
my brows, but I'm still so like insecure.
Brows are important.
They're everything.
Because you can have a full beat of makeup on, but if your brows ain't done. There's this one girl. Amanda, when you hear this podcast, you're going to laugh because you know who I'm talking about. But there's this one girl, so pretty, but her brows are effed up.
Like
they just
thick?
They're
She
like
don't know how to
thick.
do them?
She does not know how to do them. She looks better without doing them.
Where are her friends?
We're not that close, so I couldn't tell her. I wanted to so bad, but we weren't that close. So I'm just gonna look like I'm talking. But I'm just like, I want to help you.
Not just screaming she has bad friends.
Maybe
Screaming that she has bad
She got some haters out there because if that was my homegirl, I'd be like, girl, let me take you into the bathroom real quick. Let's do this.
like, I'm bad,
take
and
care
like
of
she's
that.
square. Like it's not even square. Like it was. I don't know what it is, and they're so thick. I'm like,
But then again, how do you tell somebody that maybe is sensitive? Maybe, you know, like.
I don't think she's sensitive. I think that someone could have told her.
I think
I wanted to.
just approached it in a way of like, girl, let me try and do your makeup.
But it's
Let me
hard.
do
It's
this,
harder
you know?
for a guy to tell a girl something. Like a girl can
Oh,
tell a
absolutely.
guy something, and it would be fine. But it's harder for a guy to tell a girl.
I
something.
actually think the opposite. I think it's easier for a guy to tell a girl something.
Really?
Yes, than another woman.
It depends on the girl. I think.
I think
man.
guys, like, if it's her boyfriend or if it's her friend or something, they could be like, what's wrong with your brow? And, like, you know, like, because guys are just,
I
they
mean,
play
But
it
my
off
ex
as,
used to
like,
do that, and I used to be like, oh, but yeah, okay, I'll go fix it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like, it kind of.
But you would do something about
I appreciated
it.
But I appreciated every single time he did it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, hey, why is your shit so pale? Like, fuck, yeah, let me go get some bronzer.
yeah.
What was that? Not there being ghosts in the house.
I heard a knock.
I heard a
No, I
knock
thought I
too.
heard a knock too.
Is it a knock? Yeah. Was it a knock?
I think I don't know. Well, you can go check while we continue this podcast. So, what do you guys find least attractive about a man?
Oh,
Oh, I got one because I just had to deal with this. I hate a man that rejects his own culture.
So, as a black man, I guess. Coon alert! Coon alert!
He's not black. Apparently, he's not black.
What did he say?
He's Dominican.
That's black though.
Try to tell a Dominican that they're black.
You're not. No. You might not be African American, but you're still black.
You're Afro Latino. You're
Yes.
Afro. You know what I mean? Like,
And if you're any percent black, then you all black.
yeah, I had to deal with somebody who tried to tell me, like, you know, I'm not black, I'm Dominican. And then he said, you know, I never was a part of the whole Black Lives Matter movement.
But if you look a certain way, the next person on the street's gonna think you a nigga.
That's what I'm saying. You're using the word nigga.
Oh.
You look like a nigga. If it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's a duck.
That's not true because there's some white people that. Well, I mean, you know, they don't look like a duck though. You're right.
I don't know. That's just how I feel. Like that, a man who rejects his own culture. And there's a lot of those guys out there like that,
No,
to be honest
seriously.
with you.
How about yourself, Mary?
their personality.
What don't you like about guys' personalities?
That when it's very dull, like if we can't connect, then I don't see anything further than that. Like I need someone.
So what
who
happened
can
if
be
they
at
were
the same
bomb?
level.
Like, who do you think is so fine? Like a celebrity that's so fine.
Channing Tatum.
Okay, so if we she didn't even hesitate. She didn't hesitate. So Channing Tatum was in front of you and was like, Mary, I want to be with you, or whatever the case was, and he had a dull personality, you would be like,
Yes.
kick rocks?
No.
I'd be like, look, babe, we could work something out.
No, I can have your babies.
I cannot, but he has a bad personality. So is that really something that...
When can you look past it?
Yeah. When is enough enough?
Because eventually it wouldn't work.
No, at a certain point, you're going to
Like-
realize that you're too boring.
I will probably give it like 2 weeks.
That's not that long. That's enough time for you to get to know somebody, to
Yeah.
know if his personality is dull or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
2 weeks, I feel like that's a little short. You have to.
It's kind of like so I do this. It's kind of like when you watch a TV show, you have to give it 3 episodes because, by through the 3rd episode, if it ain't good, it's not going to get good. So for the Gossip Girls, it took me about 6 episodes to get into that. It still wasn't that good, but I was already emotionally invested. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to finish it out. But so I'm like 3 weeks a month. And then it also depends on how often you guys are talking
That's true.
and how often you guys are going on dates and stuff.
Yeah.
So the question, Diana, was, what do you find least attractive about a man?
Least attractive.
Yeah, she said personality.
Thong sandals.
Oh, they didn't hear you. I'm sorry. She said thong sandals. Who actually even wears those?
Open toed. Yeah.
I cannot. Slides all day, please. Do not wear thong sandals. It will drop 10 points. You only got 10 points.
You only got 10 points. You lose all 10.
In a heartbeat.
I have a pair, but I only wear them to the beach.
Trash them.
Okay.
The reason why is because when you're walking on sand, sometimes your slide goes too forward.
Yeah. And your foot slips to the
Exactly.
front,
So
yeah.
either I go barefoot or I wear those to the
and
beach.
You better make sure those toenails are clipped.
Oh, he has beautiful feet.
Oh.
I should make a OnlyFans for my feet.
I've been telling you.
Or for a guy, I do have nice feet. I probably have nicer feet than y'all.
I love it when a guy gets like a pedicure.
Never had one. God gave me these bitches.
God takes care of these.
Right. But thong sandals. Okay. So guys, let that be known. Do not wear any thong sandals. That's funny. So what makes you insecure?
In a relationship?
Yes. Or in general, whatever you feel that you want to talk about. The stage is yours, Beyonce saying.
It's never another girl that makes me insecure in a relationship. It's more so what makes me insecure, like personal insecurities, I guess, that maybe get brought up in a relationship, or they're more prominent, I guess, in
Want
the
to be more
relationship.
specific?
Like, you said insecurities, right?
Yes.
Like in a relationship.
Anybody else want to take a stab at it?
That's kind of hard. I really got to
I mean, because you guys have all been in relationships, and I feel that there has to have been a time that you felt insecure.
Absolutely. So I think that my past relationships are not something that I would redo in my future self life. So the things that I allowed before, obviously I wouldn't allow now.
Mm-hmm.
But if they at
That's
all
another
even
question.
look at another girl, that's going to make me insecure. You know?
But why is that? Because of stuff that's happened in your past relationship, or?
Yeah.
I agree with her on that. It's not so much the other girl that makes you, I feel like, insecure. It's more so the guy that brings up those things that maybe makes you're already insecure about.
So I feel like I can make a man insecure if I wanted to. You know, if I go into a store with him and I start looking at other dudes, you know more or less what you kind of should and shouldn't be having your eyes wrapping
But there's
around. You know
I think that there's a difference, because if you're staring at a girl for so long, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm making you insecure, but at a certain point, I'm being disrespectful.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you're insecure about that situation or whatever, but at this point, I'm disrespecting you now.
But that makes me insecure just moving forward of, you know, now I know he's
So-
got a little bit of some wandering eyes or something. But obviously in my future relationships, I wouldn't stick with somebody like that. I just wouldn't. I'm not going to tolerate or have the time for that. I think that my last relationship is not a good...
So do you feel...
it's not a good thing to even like really bring out to the world, because it was a long-term relationship that, you know, after so many years you kind of just fucking say fuck it. You're gonna stick with this person, and you're just...
I had
fucking
somebody
running through
on
the mud with
the
them.
podcast, shout out to Tiffany. She said that she understands why some people stay in relationship even if they're married, because sometimes, like, it's not even about starting over again, but like, I put so much time into this, and then if I leave this relationship, I may be losing things. So is what I'm losing, and that has nothing to do with the man or the girl, but is what I'm losing more than what I would be, you know, leaving behind, you know, kind of thing. So you have to weigh your options, like, well, I already know how he is. Am I willing to deal with this to keep up what I have going?
But at the same time, life is what you make it. You can't use that as an excuse because, like I was just about to tell you, like in my last relationship, I was told that I was never going to have any of the shit that I have now. My ex, I was using his car. I was living with him. I had no place of my own. I had no car. And he would constantly tell me, like, you know, you have all this because of me.
So he felt like he made you, in a sense.
At the time, I did feel like that. And I stayed and prolonged the relationship when it should have ended months prior before it ended.
My ex said a similar thing. He's like, you wouldn't be where you're at if it wasn't for me. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Again, were you guys dating the same guy?
They all like that.
I'm not going to say that, but
some of them are.
Yeah, some of them are.
They're crazy.
There's this one thing that I tell people, like when some people are in bad situations, and I'm just like, you're not going to leave that dude. Like, well, why? You can find another him. He ain't doing anything great. You can find another dude that's going to fuck you over. Like, they come a dime a dozen.
A dime a dozen.
Yeah. Sure it doesn't even matter what race.
No, seriously. There's this song. Actually, you know what? I gotta play this song. Hold on, because it's so true. It's by Sonia Elise. So I usually don't play this many songs so up front, but you guys are just sparking stuff out of me today. Okay, let me find this damn song.
Yeah, stretch it open.
Stretch it open. I don't got a song for that.
You just played a song like
stretch it out, not stretch it open. You nasty. You nasty.
That's what she meant.
I mean,
that's what she meant.
I'll call Tamel later and ask her what she meant by that. Stretch it open, girl. But this song is called "Heard It All Before," and it's by Sonia Elise, a dope ass songwriter. Listen to this, y'all.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Then my heart is crazy, crazy. Listen, if you want to tell me some bullshit, keep it to yourself. I done heard, baby. I can't stay 'cause I ain't ready. I done heard, I got a child on the way. When I got which ain't no she was pregnant. I done heard, I ain't where I wanna be in life. I wanna give you more. See, I appreciate that, but you could have told me from the fucking door. This love thing is useless. Been flooded with excuses. Cute ones always wanna hurt you. Ugly ones do you worse. So I built this wall 'cause I swear to God I done heard it all. Nigga, start an argument with you just to leave 'cause you got 2, 3 other bros to say on Thanksgiving, V-Day, and Christmas Eve. Have you ever had now pick up his phone, said he out with the boys, but he out with a chick, and you at the same restaurant watching him text you some bullshit. This love thing is useless. Been flooded with excuses. Rich niggas always doing dirt, and broke niggas got the nerve to do your work. So I built this wall 'cause I swear to God,
So that was "Heard It All" by Sonia Elise, and she just basically talks about, we popping another bottle, baby. She talks about in the song that, like, doesn't matter what dude you get, like, you can get a broke nigga, you can get a rich nigga, you can get a cute nigga, you can get an ugly nigga, but they all really gonna do you dirty because, and she says in there,
even the ugly ones do you dirty.
She even says that the ugly niggas got the nerve to do you worse.
Yes, yes.
Why do you feel that is?
Stupidity? I have no fucking idea. They really
I feel
are.
like
Aren't they all
somebody let
think
these
their
niggas.
dick is big. I don't know.
Somebody let these niggas know that they're like, let them think that they're like a 10, but you know, sometimes you got to bring them back down and remind them where they came from. You know what I mean? Because like sometimes the ugly boys, I mean the cute boys, be doing you dirty, and it be hurting your feelings.
Yeah,
It be hurting you when the cute ones be hurting you. And then the ugly ones, you think it won't hurt so much.
It hurts just as bad.
It hurts worse
Like, you
because
got
it's
the-
like,
you
damn,
got
you
the
had
nerve.
the audacity.
You got the nerve.
I gave you a chance, and this is what you gonna do with it? Okay.
Yeah, but that just, what you guys were saying reminded me of that song, because it's just like, it doesn't really matter who you date in a sense. Not to say that all guys are trash, or not to say that all women are trash, but it really doesn't matter who you date. Like, they have the opportunity to do you dirty, so you need to be careful with who you date. So, going on, we have this. Actually, I'm going to ask that in a minute. Sorry, my ear was itching. So, tell us one big problem, the biggest problem that you guys have had in a relationship.
Trust issues.
And okay, and elaborate on that.
Trust issues stemmed from cheating.
So why did you stay when the people cheated on you?
You know, it happened too before the cheating happened. It
Okay.
happened with just because I'm naturally a friendly person. And
So they had trust issues, or you did?
he first had trust issues.
So they say, that's not always true, but sometimes guys and women will play on a insecurity or a trust issue because they're actually doing what they are feeling guilty about or accusing you of. So if he had a trust issue about cheating,
It's because most likely, yeah.
he might be the one cheating.
Yeah. That's it, like
I
90%
came
of
off
the time.
like I'll come off too friendly talking to guys, but that's just who I am. But I have no intention of doing anything with them.
So did you have trust issues in the relationship, or was it just
I
him?
didn't in the beginning. And then when I found out the cheating happened, then the trust issues started happening. And then I started building like all these excuses in my head. Maybe it was me. Maybe I'm the problem why he cheated. Then I realized it wasn't me.
It's never you.
It's never you, yeah.
Yeah. And yourself?
Communication issues. I think that my last relationship could have, a lot of things could have been fixed with proper communication. And I think that we were kind of young when we first started, and we really didn't develop better communication issues till towards the end of our relationship, where
And it was already too late.
it was already too late. But I think that we individually put in work towards trying to communicate better to each other, where it was like different level of like, oh my God, who is this person? Like, normally I lash out, and now you're like, hey, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. And I'm like, what the fuck? Who are you? Like, who did I just come home to? Like, we have a thing, you know? Normally you say that, and then I go crazy at you, you know? So where'd that come from? But I'm enjoying this part, you know? But now we're just far too towards
late.
the end of our relationship that that's not even going to save it anymore. But, you know, I can say that we were too young, but were we really too young? Not really. I mean,
What was the question again?
Girl, I don't remember. I'll be honest. What was
This
the
wine
biggest?
is hitting.
Yeah, right. What was the biggest problem in your last relationship?
Biggest problem.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not.
That was the question. Was that the question?
insecurities or something.
No, that was the question before that.
Cheating is one of
Bottle
them.
number 2.
But another thing that I've had a problem with.
You were cheating?
No. Cheating has been a problem in previous relationships, but not as much as it's been a problem that a man can't provide. I don't know why. I feel like I've been with dudes, unfortunately, and I don't know if I'm like subconsciously this is like something that I'm like doing, but the guys that I've been with, like,
They're not able to provide.
I feel like they're not able to provide, and they shouldn't be in a relationship, or they shouldn't even want to be with somebody who.
So if you know a guy can't provide, what is it about you that's choosing to be with guys to, in a sense, try to fix them?
There you go. You just answered the question. I try to fix them. It's like a toy that's like broken, and I'm like, oh, I could save this. I can repaint it and refurbish
I can mold
it.
them.
Not refurbish.
I can mold them into the man I want them to be.
Refurbish this shit.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's what it is. Honestly, I feel like I always want to fix things and make things better, and be the, I guess, the woman in their life that maybe they don't have.
So there's this song, I'm not gonna play it, but it's called "Lucky Her" by Little Mo. Love me some Little Mo. Little Mo, you need to do this podcast. But anyways, and she basically, and this is like a tale of oldest time, where you put so much energy into this guy, where you're in a sense fixing him or showing him the brighter, greater things in life. So then you guys break up, and now he's doing everything that you wanted him to do, but for another girl. So it's like, well, lucky her. Like,
annoying.
Yeah, right?
Like, they always say, like, you know, you're with a man to make him better for another woman. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes you're that woman that makes him into a better man for another woman. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's the case. I wish it wasn't. But I wish you could learn to love me properly or whatever in the relationship. It's unfortunate, but sometimes people are lessons and not blessings. You know what I mean? Like,
Preach.
So unfortunately, we have to go through things like that to figure out what we will tolerate, what we like, what we don't like, what we need to fix about ourselves. So,
damn, I was gonna ask a question based off of something you said, and I just don't even remember what it was now.
I don't got time to teach a man. I don't got the energy. I don't got the time. You got a guy wants to tell me, Diana, remind me this. Fucking put it in your phone, bro. I'm not here to tell you that. Have your mom fucking tell you.
You see, but then I have a problem with a nigga telling me that. Like, if I ask you to do something, you do it. Please.
We know you beating your kids' ass.
I need to. If I ask you to do something for me, it's just to see if you're gonna do it. Honestly, I don't need a nigga for shit, but I want to see if you're gonna do it. How far are you willing to go?
I feel
it's kind of like the thing. How much do you fuck with me? You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like some guys test that out with girls too, with that shit. Like, can you do this for me? And then if you can't do it, they're like, all right, I know she ain't a wife. Or like, I know she ain't somebody that I could, you know, confide in or trust in or, you know, like be vulnerable with kind of thing.
That. So answer me this. What would you say the biggest thing you've learned out of all the relationships? I sound like you guys are hoes, but out of all the relationships that you guys have been in, what has been the biggest lesson that you have learned? And when I say learned, I mean learned, meaning that you haven't made this mistakes again. Because sometimes we'll get into relationships and we think we learned something and we didn't learn a goddamn thing because we repeat the cycle.
I ain't going to jail for no nigga.
Enough said.
You already know, Terry. I told you before what I previously went through for years. I finally had to call it quits because I was turning, 18, and once you're legal, you're charged as an adult for shit. So you have to quit the bullshit at some point. Mm-hmm. You got to know what you can and can't get away with.
She felt that over here. She felt that in her soul over here.
I got 2 more years.
I can't.
Yeah.
The probation, that is. 2 more years of probation.
Did I call me? What did you call me? Like America's sweetheart?
I ain't no prison
Mary
bitch.
is America's sweetheart. Well, she is the definition of America's sweetheart. You look it up in the dictionary, and then the black pages behind that, like they're gonna go away.
Black pages behind it.
Never ever again.
They clear after 10 years. They clear off your record.
So.
But what about you, Mary?
What was the question?
Biggest thing that you've learned out of your relationships?
To never stay complacent. Never get too comfortable. Definitely never get too comfortable.
I feel like that's a lot of reason why people stay in bad relationships is because they're just comfortable with, I already know that you ain't shit. Yeah. So we just gonna be ain't shit together.
I was comfortable for too long, and I was so comfortable doing the same routine every day. I got comfortable until I finally woke up and said, you know what? Fuck this. I'm fucking done. I'm done. And after I said that and broke it off, things got way better for me. way better.
Like a weight lifted off your shoulder.
Yeah, I'm not stressed out no more. I feel free. I can do what the fuck I want.
I feel that. How about yourself, Di?
Never lose yourself as an individual. You're still an individual first before that relationship. You have your two individual people, and then when you're in a relationship, you guys come together and have a relationship, but you're still two whole different people that have your own different lives, your own different careers that you should be working on consistently. So never lose your own individual self, your own creativity. If you were doing stuff before that, you know, you liked to craft or whatever the fuck, you know, you had some type of projects that you like doing, don't ever stop it. Don't ever lose yourself in it.
I feel that spiritually. So the question I have now is that we have all of these women empowerment things that we haven't seen years ago. But there's a fine line between women empowerment and then them being anti-men. Where do you think the division is? Because some women think that they're being like women empowering, but in reality they're being anti-men.
I have to catch myself sometimes with things like that too.
We will answer that question next week. Thank you, ladies.
And that's all we have for you today. I hope you enjoyed yourself on this episode of Create Your Own Story with Terrell Garnett. We'll catch you next time.